President Yoon Suk Yeol will be dealing with an opposition-led National Assembly for the remainder of his term. With that in mind, today he called for cooperation with the government, urging to end conflicts and confrontation. Our correspondent Kim Do-yeon covers his remarks.
With just days to go until the opening ceremony for the 22nd National Assembly, President Yoon on Tuesday emphasized the need for the executive and legislative branches of the government to work together, saying that there was no future if the nation's politics repeated previous conflicts and confrontation.
국정의 목표, 정치의 목표는 하나입니다. 민생의 어려움을 해결하고 국민을 더 행복하게 만드는 것입니다. 이러한 목표만큼은 정부와 국회가 다르지 않다고 저는 믿습니다.
This part of his address to a cabinet meeting comes as Yoon faces an opposition-led assembly until the end of his term. Just the day before, Yoon's close aides, including his chief of staff, were called to appear before the House Steering Committee, whose opposition party members grilled them well into the night about several issues related to the presidential office. Now, a 3-day interpellation session has also kicked off. Yoon's spokesperson said that during the cabinet meeting, the president ordered his aides to take the time to explain in detail to lawmakers and citizens about the government's focuses: proactive global diplomacy, a free market economy led by the private sector, and welfare for the socially vulnerable.
The president said that our government's proactive global diplomacy is not focused on domestic political calculations, but rather on expanding the horizons of diplomacy to enable our businesses and citizens to participate more extensively on the international stage.
He also emphasized that for the economy to thrive, businesses must grow, underscoring that proactive global diplomacy is directly tied to the well-being of the people. Yoon also mentioned that the country's low birth rate and aging population have reached a state of a national emergency that requires urgent attention. Amid fierce clashes between the ruling and opposition parties, Yoon also raised the need to narrow differences through rational dialogue and consensus, saying the government and parliament both share the goal of improving the people's livelihoods. Kim Do-yeon, 아리랑뉴스.